Have you ever noticed that when you try to gain undeserved attention from your peers, your methods in doing so come off as both stupid and pathetic? Well, that's what Lincoln and Clyde found out in the episode I'm going to talk about today. So join me as I, Steam Team Read Up UK, CC Trainor-Ling, bring you another retro review from past seasons of The Loud House. Cue the intro! Today's episode is Out of the Picture. In this episode, Lincoln and Clyde try to place themselves in group photos so they can be remembered in their school yearbook, while Lola tries to take a better yearbook picture to replace the bad one she doesn't want anyone else to see. This is one of the rare examples of an episode having both a main plot and a subplot, and I appreciated how both plots were able to intertwine as the story played out. First, there's Lincoln and Clyde's part of the story where they forgot to register their ghost hunting club for the school yearbook, and they worry they'll be considered forgotten students at Royal Woods Elementary. In my opinion, that logic doesn't make any sense because what difference does it make if you're in a school club or not? You still get your picture in the yearbook no matter what, and I highly doubt every single student in their school is in a club. It seems as though Clink and McCloud wanted to be remembered as more than just regular elementary students, which I guess depending how you look at it can either be a positive incentive to make a name for themselves, or the kind of selfish motivation needed to put together a big photobombing plan. They dress up in crazy outfits and try to sneak their way into group photos for school clubs they're not even a part of, causing mishaps and thus ruining the pictures in the process. What bothers me the most is that in nearly every instance, no one, and I mean no one, immediately calls them out for trying to hijack the picture. Seriously, no one says a word the moment these guys show up from out of the blue and they just let it happen like they were expecting this. Just why? The only one who ever says anything is Lucy from the Morticians Club, even though she decides to let them stay for their picture. Yet Lincoln and Clyde still got screwed over when the caskets they were posing in got shut before the camera flashed. Then their plan became even more pathetic and desperate when they decided to use Lincoln's computer to Photoshop themselves into as many group photos as possible, even the one for the lunch ladies. And the final step would be to switch out the original photos with the incredibly fake-looking ones they made. I would have loved to witness the fallout of this plan and see the looks on everyone's faces at school when they noticed two kids digitally and shoddily placed into pictures they weren't supposed to be a part of in the first place. Actually, when you think about it, Lincoln and Clyde would be remembered for something at their school. A bunch of frauds trying to gain undeserved recognition. I was very close to hating this episode because of these two, but there was one character who saved it from getting a bad score, and that would be Lola. Unlike the boys, she had a more valid reason for wanting to make a change to the yearbook because she was worried her first cringe-looking picture would ruin her pageant career. This led to a little funny sequence where she tries to get her sisters to take her picture and she gets the exact opposite of what she wanted. Although, humorously enough, Lisa did take her picture, but in the form of an x-ray. She finally gets the picture she wants thanks to Lily, and Lincoln promises to swap out her old picture for the new one she placed on a flash drive. The biggest selling point to the episode was during the scene where Lincoln was planning to swap out the original yearbook pictures on the school computer and upload the new pictures featuring him and Clyde while the latter distracted Coach Bukowski. During that time, Lincoln overheard Bukowski giving a speech about hopes and dreams, similar to the one Lola gave earlier, and that's when he had to make a difficult decision. With very little stalling time to make use of both flash drives, he made the choice to cancel the lengthy upload of his photos and quickly chose to upload Lola's picture to the school computer instead. He made a sacrifice for someone whose problems and desires far outweighed his, and it's those kinds of moments I greatly respect. The vibes I got from the dynamic between Lincoln and Lola were the same kind I got from the future episode Read Aloud, where Lincoln makes a similar sacrifice for the benefit of his little sister at the cost of losing something he and his family really wanted. Lola may be a bratty princess from time to time, but it's episodes such as these where she truly shines the brightest during times of weakness, and she was very thankful for what her big brother and best friend were able to do. Overall, this episode can have its share of stupid and pathetic moments thanks in part to Lincoln and Clyde in the main plot, but it's Lola and her role in the subplot that make up the difference, and everything comes together very nicely by the end. Speaking of the end, I liked how all three characters got to achieve their goal in one way or another. Despite making a noble sacrifice for Lola, Lincoln and Clyde still managed to make it into a group photo as members of the yearbook staff, albeit in the form of a mashup with one half of Lincoln's body and one half of Clyde's body spread across two pages with a crease in between. It's not quite the big victory they wanted, but they still accomplished their goal of achieving yearbook immortality, so it's a win nonetheless. Throw in a few funny bits with Lola and her having some sweet interactions with Clink and McCloud, and you have what I consider one of the best episodes for the second season. With that said, I give Out of the Picture an 8.5 out of 10. Well folks, that concludes my review of Out of the Picture. So I gotta ask, what did you guys think of this episode? Sound off in the comments below, and be sure to click that subscribe button for more Loud House related content. That's going to do it for me. I'll catch you guys for the next video, but until then, this is Steam Team Read WK, CC Trainor-Ling, signing off. Peace out, home slices.